Okay, then let's get started. These people might be joining late also.
Yeah, fine.
So I think yesterday we started with what?
Concordinate, exact.
Yeah. So we just
Can you
completed
tell me the
whatever.
exact study?
Sorry, Bharat.
Can you create it once again exact and fixed?
Exact, huh? Exact
Exact
is
and fixed
simple.
both.
Exact is simple. Like whenever you are comparing two column values, for example, if you want to see A column values with matching with the B column, for example, we have a column A and column B. So here also, for example, there is values, for example, 1, 2, for example, 1, 2. Let's say here 3 is there, but here 4 is there. But if you go for the exact option here, what will happen? First will be coming as a true because 1 equal to 1 is matching. If you want to compare these two columns I'm talking about, okay. Second option also,
Okay.
the output of the exact would be true or false. Here also true will be coming,
Okay.
but here the false will be coming. That's it. Why here false is
Boolean
coming? This
condition.
3 is never equal to 4. Yes, Boolean kind of information.
Okay. Fixed.
Fixed one, ignore as of now. Ignore as of now. I will tell you later.
Okay.
Okay. So next one, we started discussing about the mathematical functions. I think we understand what is the ABS function, correct? Ceiling function, floor, and then round. I think only 4 we discussed yesterday. And after that I just list out the functions only. We have not discussed statistical. What are the functions available? For example, min a, min x, max a, max x, average a, average x, count a, count ax, count blank rows, count only rows, count x available, and then cross join also will be there. So this just I list out the functions, but we have not discussed anything yesterday. So only, to be honest, yesterday it was like 6 to 7 functions we have discussed, and round is done, but round up is there and round down is still there. Priya, sorry I couldn't call you yesterday. We will discuss after the class, or I will call you today. Okay. So still we are in the discussion of new column only. Most probably today you will understand what is the difference between the new column and new measure. We have been adding the where is the mathematical, yes. So if you see the ABS function, and whomever not there yesterday, I'm just giving heads up. I created simple one table. If you want to see the table, go to edit queries, and this is what the table I created, mathematical table with having only 5 columns. If you know how to create the table, click on the enter data, it will pop up one more table. Then we are trying to understand these 4 columns. The ABS is nothing but same mathematical formula. If any column having the negative numbers, for example minus 89, it is displaying as a, why is showing 34? Am I doing something different? Yeah, the column number C3 I'm using. C3 is nothing but second column, this one. Okay. So if you see minus 90, minus 78, it is showing like this. Same way ceiling, it will be rounding the value to the next nearest max. For example, if you see the column name C2 I'm taking, if you see the C2 columns, 100.78, 78 will be rounded to 101. For example, 56, 79, because it's next max value. See, after 100.7, what is the value? 101, right? 55, after 50.56, what is the value? 56. That is what the next max value. The next minimum is nothing but like floor value. If you think of, as I given yesterday's example, assume that you are staying in the one room, maybe your PG. Look at the bottom like a floor and look at the top ceiling. Ceiling always will be top, always will be the max value. The floor will be always down, it will go to the minimum value. That's it. That's why it's coming as 100. It will simply ignore the decimal values here, to be simple. Simply ignore the decimal values. And round is nothing but it will follow some standards. It is also looks like a ceiling and floor only, but only formula would be if decimal value is less than 0.5. See now, for example, last one 78.35, it is showing as only 78 only. But look at the above value 55.64, 56. It is rounding to the next max value. So formula is very simple. If the value is above zero point 0.5, it will round to the next max value. If the decimal value is less than 0.5, it will go to the minimum value. So we have a round up and round down functions. New column C underscore round up. To be simple, it is similar to the ceiling function. So round off, what is the number? Number means column. What is a column? For example, C2 or C3, whatever it may be, comma, number of digits you want to round it up. Like for example, I'm saying one digit. Now click on the OK button. Now try to understand what is happening. I think C3 we don't have much decimal. I will make it as C2. Same way, adding new column C underscore round down equal to round down of rounds a number down towards 0. Okay, and round up is nothing but rounds a number up away from 0. Round down, the column number would be C2 comma. So if you don't like the number of digits, what you can do, you can make it as a 0 like this. That's what I mentioned even yesterday also. Now if you understand these values, round up is nothing but always point next one will be 101, 55.65 will be 56 will be there, 78.35 will be 79 will be there. So to be simple, the ceiling and round up will be similar, and floor will be and round up will be same only. If you ask me, then why do we have the two different functions? One function might have been defined earlier, maybe other programming language. For example, if you go to SQL language, we have a ceiling and the floor functions available. We don't have the round up and round down functions also available. So to make the integrity, so they might have been having that. Maybe there might be some slight difference between among them, but as of now, round up is looks like a similar to ceiling, and round down also looks like a similar to the floor function. Okay, if you see the values 100% exactly will match with the floor and decimal, I'm sorry, floor function and then round down functions. So like this we have many functions available, as I told you, like DAX functions list in Power BI. Don't go to other websites. Look for the Microsoft msdn.microsoft.com and look for the functions. So like this, in this also we have many other functions, but if you're covering all the functions, so it's not that much important also. As I told you, we have lots of trigonometry functions. I will showcase here. Hi Midin,
Hello.
how are you
Hello,
sir?
sir. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. What happened? Wake up late,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm feeling cold. Yeah, every morning when I get up, it'll be cold.
Don't worry. Within 3 4 days, I will give you the complete. I will relieve from you.
Yeah, I know. I can at least I'll wash it every day later in the video.
Okay,
So,
perfect. So we are in the discussion of the mathematical and trigonometric functions. I'm just explaining that, like ABS function, ceiling, and whatever important. We are moving to the next category. These are log information, integer, m round, pi. These are all not required. But at least you can cover, like for example, let's say power function. 2 to the power of 3. What is output? 2 to the power of 3. What is output now? So equal to 2 into 2 into 2. Those kind of calculation we never do in the as a business analyst. We are not a mathematical students. Okay, perfect. So the next one is the most important one, that is called as a statistical functions. I mean, still we have a time intelligent functions, but if you want to understand the time intelligent functions, as I told you, you need to understand the what is the difference between the sum, minimum, max, and average. Those are the frequently used options available. Frequently used options available. Yesterday I already list out. We have a minimum, min A and min X, max, max A and max X, average, average and average X, and then we will go to the count and we'll discuss. So let me creating one table. Meantime, if anyone has any questions, you can ask me. 1 or 2 minutes of time. Statistical, and let's say I'm getting one student ID. What is the student name and what is the marks? Let's say 1, 4, and then 5, 6 people are there. See, you can give proper name also. I will give the numbers 50, 55, 45, 90. I will give one blank value also, and I'm giving as a 75, 175. Click on the load button. Apply changes. What is the changes we applied? So my table got ready. So we are going to discuss about the what is the minimum of the overall column value. So by is very simple. Anybody can able to say this one by seeing the values. What is the minimum value? Is it blank or 45? So max also you can able to see. Sum also you could able to see. Average also you could able to see. But let me take the simple visualizations. Okay, and I'm taking statistical. Let's take the student ID, student name, and marks. Listen carefully. From today onwards, the new measure concept will come into picture. The first question is, why is student ID coming as a only one? Did I given one actually or what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like this. So then make sure that this column is not going for the, maybe I think is going for the minimum. Out of all the IDs, it might be going for the minimum. Right click on the student ID here. See, now it's going for the count actually. Count also, how come is getting one? That's fine. Make it as a don't summarize. I want to get the actual values. Select the student name also. Don't summarize. Marks also don't summarize. I want to get the actual raw data. I want to get the actual raw data. If you want table style, like minimal formatting or bold headers, contrast alternating color, this looks better. I will keep it at right side here. Now I'm taking one simple card. I'm taking one simple card. Okay. Let's say I will reduce it a little bit. I'm taking as a marks here. One second. I'm sorry. So if you see here, by default, it is showing as a 315. 315. Can you anyone tell me what is happening here? Total of the marks here. To be simple, sum is going 50 plus 55, 105, 110 and 150, and 240 plus 75, 315. You want me to open the calculator? What? Sure. So let me do it in the one time activities. The first value is 50 plus 55 plus 45 plus 90 plus 75. This is what the value is showing as a 315. That is what by default, if you see the field here, right click on this, it is going for the sum. Let's say if the customer asking, I don't want to sum by default, can you go for the minimum value? Just change it. See now, the minimum is showing as a 45 value, and you can go to the formatting option and enable the borders, and you can add as a title also. Let's say min. Yes or no? It is not like visible. Something like this. Or I will change the color also. One I will do the formatting, rest I can copy paste. Yeah, this looks better for me. And the bottom minimum of the marks is there. Minimum of the marks is there. If you don't like to give the title, you can enable this also. So let's say this is, if you see the card, only one value we can display it, right? So like this, what you need to do, we need to, I'm just copying this one and control V, press how many times you want and drag it like this. Listen carefully. I'm not doing any magic here. I just press control C and control V. So this one, for example, let's say we will change it to sum here. This one is a minimum. This one will be, I will rename this also. Go to the title, make it as a sum, and minimum, this I will make it as a max. This I will make it as a average. Any questions till now? The max we need to make it as a maximum, and this one we need to make it as a average. What is average? The first one. So like this, still we have a sum, minimum, average, maximum, count distinct. Count means how many records available. Count distinct means only unique values. And this and all you can ignore it. Okay, so these are the simple options which is available. So we have validated sum is working fine, minimum also should be fine 45, and max also is 90. Out of these values, which is the max values, and average also 63. Is it correct? Tell me what is the formula to calculate the average. Sum of values divided by number of students. What is the number of students here? 5 or 6? Okay, I'm getting a 6 and equal to 52.5. But what is happening here? Is the value is matching? Okay, so let's try then. I'm clearing this one. I'm taking again sum 315. Let's say the one guy is coming with a blank value here, like a null value usually. Let's ignore this guy. Then divided by, if you ignore one person, we have total 5 persons. If you ignore the one guy, how many people now? 5 persons. So is it matching? So keep in mind, by default, any of the that particular row I'm talking about, for example marks, any of the row doesn't have any values, that will be ignored from the average calculation. That is a by default behavior. Anyone has any questions till now? So this is already we know, right? But where we are writing the DAX expressions here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the similar measures. So now go to the statistical. If you go for the new column, listen carefully. You might be thinking, sir, what happens if you go for the new column? Yes, we can. C underscore, let's say sum I'm trying to do, like sum of, what is a column here? Sorry? Marks. So now add it, you will understand. Nothing is happening, but each row is displaying as a 315, 315, 315, 315. It's a waste of time, right? If you want to display sum of values, why should I have it in the each row level? Keep in mind that is a very, very important point. Each row level. If you go for the any new column or calculated column, it will calculate the value at the row level. What is the meaning of row level? Each row, that value will be displayed. So now delete this one. Right click on this, delete. I don't want like this. Now see the difference. Go to statistical and add as a new measure. Same here also, I'm just starting as a m underscore sum. M means new measure, that nothing else. I'm taking as a sum here and marks and close it, enter it. The column got is ready, but is it adding as a row level? But if you see here, we have a m underscore sum here, m underscore sum here. So remind me tomorrow, we will discuss more detail about the 10 or 15 minutes of time, only difference between new column or calculated column, the both are same, and new measure or measure. So there is a new column we have been adding, you guys know already when to use a new column, and new measure also we are starting today. Going forward everything will be new measure only. Okay, we'll discuss tomorrow detail, remind me. So now let me use this one. I'm just copying the same, Control C and Control V. If you have patience, you can design one more card also. But here, let's remove this marks. I think one measure has to be there. So let it be. But here I'm taking a m underscore sum here. Is it showing still same or not? You can see the column in the bottom here. This is the marks. This is the minimum of the marks and max of the marks, average of the marks here. The bottom there is a small icon is there. If you want, I will. What is that icon? Category, I guess. It's visible. Okay. So format painter like this. Format painter, same MS Word. No need to worry. Perfect. So now I could see the actual values also. I'm displaying both title and then category. That's okay. So the next one is I'm copying and pasting the minimum also. But only thing is this is from the actual column. This is from the sum of actual columns. This is measure, I could say. This is from the actual measure. This is from the normal column only. Normal column, what I have done here. I went here, right click on this, applied as sum here. Instead of that one, I'm creating as a measure here. In that measure, if you see the formula, just keep the cursor here. You could be able to see the formula here. I'm repeating. Just to go to the visual, select the whichever the card you want to see, or I'm sorry, whichever the measure you want to see. You will see the again the same formula. Still is modifiable, editable. Now the next minimum also, let me copy this measure. so that it will save our time. New measure. So this one I'm taking as a min value. So the next one is new measure only. If you want to see here, you could be able to see here. None of the measures will be added at the row level. Everything at the runtime only. What is the meaning of runtime? You will understand slowly. Don't worry. Yeah, minimum sum has been added. M underscore max. The one is pending. That is the average. M underscore average equal to average of marks column. Now close it. First, we are making sure that whatever normal column and the minimum function from the DAX is giving the right answer or not. Till now is okay. Till now is okay. The next one would be max and average. I copy pasted. Let's change the max here. Take the max and average. Take the average. So perfectly 100%. Either you can do it in the properties level, column properties level, or do it in the measure level. That is the one major advantage. What is the difference? Here also I'm getting the 315. Here also I'm getting the 315. There is a one difference. Simple difference is if you want to restrict. Okay. Let's say this total amount only for any of the students. Maybe only for MCA department, or maybe only for the class number 10th classroom, 9th classroom, something like this. We can apply the filter. Where do you apply the filters? So filter section we have it. This is at the visual level filters, page level filters. Already we have discussed many times. Apply some filters. This value will be filtered. Let's say to be simple, I am adding student ID column under page level, and go for the basic filters. Let's say 2 numbers. So everything will be gets filtered. So it shouldn't be a case. What I want is I want to apply only for this visual. Then there is a visual level filters, student ID. I think it's already there. One second. Why it is not editable? Am I missing anything here? Let me add different. Go for the basic filtering. Let's say I would like to filter for only one employee, like one student. Student number two having only 55. So this also you guys know. If you want to restrict any of the visual for any of the certain filter criteria, you can make use of the filter section. Then in this DAX also what you can do, you can go for the filter criteria. That one we are going to see as part of filter functions. You getting my point or not? I'm just trying to explain you what is the similarities between these two. Let's remove this filter. I don't want any filters as of now. That is not our topic today. Our topic is mainly like We understand what is a minimum, what is a max, average, and then sum also. Sum is come as part of mathematical actually, but anyhow. The next category would be, the next category would be, I'm copying this one, Control V. This one I'm just renaming it to sum A or sum X, I could say. Sum X, I could say. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Now, usually what will happen? Usually what will happen? Let's say whenever you want to get the sum of single column is well and good. But sometimes what will happen? Let's say you want to multiply this marks with the some other column. Then what are the value coming on top of that? Go for the sum. I will give you one more simple example. Let me add the one more extra column here. How do you add the one more extra column in the existing table? Right click, that is new column. I want to add the table level. Go to 8 queries and go to the table statistical, right click. Yeah, what is the change type here? So now we need to add as a, for example, like a test column I'm adding. Let's say 1, listen carefully, 2, and again 2, maybe or 1. I'm adding as a, like 2 here. Just for dummy purpose I'm adding, don't worry. We got the same column as well. Now what I'm going to do, now I want to get a one more extra column here. Like that column should be multiplication of marks and this test column. Repeating once again, my requirement is I want to add a one new column, just to simply this column into this column, multiplication. Tell me, will you go for new measure, new column? Why new column? Because I'm looking for the each row level, right? Whenever you want to get the each row level, for example, C underscore multiplication marks equal to marks star into test column, enter it. Now on top of this new column, can I apply for the sum? Yes or no? Then tell me the formula. Right click on new. Even here also you can right click, go for the new measure. Like m underscore sum 1 I'm going. Sum 1 or sum underscore multi marks. Just for easy understanding, okay, equal to sum of multi marks and close it. Now go to the tabular report. Now let's add one extra column here. Now listen carefully. So now what is happening here? Before that we need to add the one more column also. That is what is the new column we added? Test column also we added. The test column, keep it as like this. So listen carefully. We have a marks column and I went to the design level and added one more extra column, test column. This 50 into 1 equal to 50. 55 into 2 equal to 110. 45 into 2 equal to 90. 90 into 1 equal to, because this is a multiplication of the these two columns. Will you agree or not? Multiplication of these two columns is nothing but multi marks here. On top of multi marks, what I'm doing? On top of multi marks only, I'm creating the one more measure. That is what called as a sum of multi marks. Now let's look at that one. Sum x. I'm going for the sum of multi marks here. We are getting as a 490, which is absolutely correct. This 490 is matching with this 490. Anyone has any questions till now? Midun, are you able to understand?
Yeah.
What we
Yeah,
understand till
yeah.
now?
These all comes in Excel also, so I didn't find it any.
Yeah, what are the functions we discussed just now?
Sorry?
So what are the functions we discussed today? Is the sum function, minimum,
Some
max,
in
and
max and
average.
average.
So we are trying to understand sum max. On top of
Yeah.
sum max, to understand better sum max, I added one column extra, and second column
Yeah.
also I derived using new column multiplication of those two columns. On top of this, what I have done, I have taken the sum here. Okay, to get 490,
Yeah.
what I'm doing here, sum of, first derive the
Yeah.
one new column, on top of that go for the sum here. Let's say this can be achievable without having this measure also. What is the meaning of without calling this measure? I'm sorry, not measure, this new column. Whatever new column I have added, C underscore multi marks. So which means without this adding this column also, still I can get this 490 with the help of summax function. I will showcase. I know it's getting confused. So remove this max new column, delete. I don't want this one. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this formula. Instead of sum, right? Okay, sum, if you go by default syntax, you can see immediately showing as a boss. Give me the table name. Sorry, column name. Okay. So sum of column name is nothing but if you have only one column, it's okay. But what is my requirement? Marks into test column. But it is not allowing me here. When I go for the sum function, it is not allowing me to write the expression. So that's the reason we need to go for the sumx function here. Sumx is nothing but same sum only. It will perform the sum only, but you can perform the expression. Anything in the in between. So no need to have the extra column first and then go for the sum of those stuff. No. First table name I'm just indicating. Go to statistical table because that's how syntax has been designed here. Okay. Comma, comma. What is expression now? Get me the marks into text column. Now see it is Aram is coming as a text column also. Close it and enter it. Now take a one more, Control C, Control V. This make it as a sum max. Take the measure of name also, let me change it. Sum max. We supposed to get a 490, then only ours is correct. See now, are we getting 490 or not? So that is what about the sum max. To understand better sum max, I will give one more example also. Okay, give me a minute. I'm duplicating the page. Okay, I don't want anything here. Listen carefully. Okay, so this table also, let me change the values. Let's go to the actual real-time value. Let's say each customer wise. One second. Each customer wise or due date wise, I'm taking the order quantity. So let's remove this one then. I don't want the year, quarter, month, the day. I will go for the actual date. Don't summarize. order quantity customer wise. Let's have the proper data, then only you can able to understand. Due date will be there. Go for the actual data. Okay, fine. So I have three columns. Is it too dark or what? Okay, I'm just going for flying value. This looks better to me. So now let's say you guys know already, whenever you want to take the sum of order quantity, either you can use normal drag and drop the column or create a one more measure on this one. But let's say I'm taking one more, which is nothing but unit price is there. Where is unit price? Can anyone help me? Where is the unit price? This one. So make sure that don't summarize any of the values. Let's have the detail level information. Perfect. Now take the sum of this one. You understand better, right? Now this is what the order quantity is 60k. If you want to take the actual values, make it as a none. This is how order quantity will be. So let's remove this one. Control C. Listen carefully. I'm just giving the one more example for the sum x. So now I'm going to have a one more measure. Tell me the formula. C underscore sum orders, not x, only sum only, equal to sum of order quantity and close it. So now take this measure and drop it. Are we getting the both the values or not? So both are perfect. Both are getting as a sum only. Now what is next step? If you want, you will create one more measure, because this commonly used measure here. Without sum, there won't be any Power BI projects. Okay. For example, sum of unit price equal to sum of unit price and close it. Look at the bottom. I am taking as a sum of unit price. This is giving some numbers. That's okay. The only problem we are trying to understand sum x now, correct or not? So now let's say what I want is I would like to get the one more new column. As I told you, it's automatically is getting applied. So order quantity into unit price. I'm going to make a, for example, let's say 3,399 into 1 will be the same value will come into here also. So like first there have a one extra column that is called as a sales amount, which is nothing but multiplication of the order quantity and unit price. Will you agree or not? So this is the case. I no need to have the extra column first. Without having extra column also, we can go for the sum x function. That is what I'm trying to convey. So go to title, make this as a sum x. But what I need to do? I need to get the formula, right? Tell me what is the formula. New measure m underscore sum x. For example, yeah, sales amount equal to sum x of, tell me the table name, fact internet sales table, comma, order quantity and close it. Any questions? Sorry. Yeah. So expression into unit price. So not only for unit price here, just I'm giving simple example. Whatever you want, you can do it here. If you want to filter it, you want to apply some max, minimum, like whatever you want, some basic into 100 also, like percentage also, whatever you want, you can do it here. So that's where the sum x will come into picture. Where is sum x? It is not coming. Maybe a name I given is different. It is there. It came in the in between. See this one. Now let's select only first record. Is both are matching? Because everywhere order count will be only one only. Let me check. Do we have anything? I think everything is order one only. So if you have the two, then you would have understand this value will different. This value will be different. Okay. So yeah, if you understand the sum max, then I will move to the next topic. Clear now? Same way, take it as a homework. Okay. Min x and max x, and what else we have it? Average x. Average x will be there, and I will start from them. There is a function also available. If you go to our notepad, so we understand min and min x only. I mean, I give an example for the only sum and sum x. So sum we have discussed, sum a we need to discuss, and sum x we have discussed. Okay, the sum a is very easy. If you understand the sum and sum x, m a is nothing but very simple. Okay, so if we understand the sum a, then we are good with all these 12 functions. Okay, now let me add quickly one function. Let's go to our small table. So let's say I have a marks table. Go to statistical, right click, new measure, m underscore sum a equal to sum. Okay, read the description. What is the sum formula here? Adds all the numbers in a column. This is we are very good familiar. Now let's say sum max. Now read the description. Returns the sum of an expression. What are the expression you are giving? Maybe order quantity into unit price, or marks into test column, something. Returns the sum of an expression evaluated by the for each row in a table level. That also we have discussed already. Now what is pending now? Sum a. So unfortunately sum a is not available. The sum, I mean a functions will only coming from the min, max, and average only. Only three only. Min a, sum a, sorry, the sum there won't be any a functions, and min a is there, max a is there, average a is there. Now let's move to the minimum a. Minimum min a equal to min a of, read the description and tell me. Returns the smallest value in a column. That anyhow minimum also will do, right? Then what is the point of going to minimum a? Doesn't ignore logical values and text. What is the meaning of this one? It is not a text, it is a logical values, either true or false values, and text value. So to be simple, let's say instead of blank here, some value is coming as a true. Okay, and sometimes if you see the data here, yeah, so if you see the data type here, the marks is showing as a whole number. Let's say even though it is a numeric numbers, there is a sorry, even though it is a numeric number, there is a chance of column values coming as a text also, correct? So actually it is not a text, it is a integer numbers, but somebody maybe because of due to some reason the column as marked as a text here. That case what will happen? The minimum will fail or some will fail because it's a text column, right? Some it may lead to the wrong value also. Okay. So I think it's already 9 o'clock. So theoretically this is what the concept. Make it as a whole number. Okay. Now assume that it is not a actual text column. Let me keep the cursor, you will understand. Some a. Okay, sorry, minimum a. We don't have the. So usually if the column having integer value, we don't have any issue. Integer will support by default anyhow, min a also. Correct? And if the column contain logical values, for example, due to some reason true or false also coming as a, even though it's a true or false, what will happen? It will treat as a true equal to 1, false equal to 0. Already we have the values. Maybe out of those, if you go for the minimum, obviously you will get as output as a 0 now. Because the false always will be treated as a 0. False always will be treated as a 0. True always will be 12. Among this value, even we have 45 also. Will you agree or not? So even 90 also we have it. Let me escape. See this one. This is what I'm talking about. Out of these values, also if we assume that we have a one more value called here true, this value will be 1 here. It will not treat as a text, it will treat as a number 1. Then among those, what is the value here? If you go for the minimum, obviously you will get 1 only, right? Let me showcase. Let me try this one. Go for the minimum, and what is the column name? Let's say I'm just going for the marks only and close it. Obviously you will get the same result only as of now. As of now you will get the same result only. For example, I'm copying this one and paste it, change the name. It is a min a function. So we have a min a already derived just now. Is it working fine or not? It is correct only because as of now whatever the value we have it, as of now whatever the value we have it, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 persons, 6 students available. Among those 6, who is getting the minimum value? If you're not able to see the values, we'll go for the bold headers. See these among these people, like who is getting the marks? Minimum value means as of now is 45. That's why the 45 is coming. You may be thinking, sir, we have a blank value here. So that is not a minimum value. That is a blank. That is a null value in the database to display as a blank in the Power BI desktop. So what are the value we have it? Out of those, the 45 will be the minimum value. Minimum value. Now it will works because we don't have any string value, right? Now think of, let me add one more extra column. Go to statistical and let me make a one more marks. Right click, copy and paste it. It's overwritten, is it? Control Z will not work. Are you sure you want to exit without changing? Will be lost. Yes, I don't want to save. I think now copy and paste it. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it as a true, and also this 45 I'm going to make it as a false now. Let's see how it will behaves. So marks 1 is there, and even this also we can rename it marks underscore text column. Yes, okay, perfect. So Close and apply. Now we got one more column. As you can see, this is a text column. But same marks, we have one more column, that is a whole number. Because of this true or false values is considering as text column. That is a known one. So what is our challenge now? Let's see how this minimum value is behaving. I'm copying min a one more. So this also min a, for example, underscore, just for my understanding, okay? This is the marks column. This is min a underscore marks text column. But let's add one more measure. What is my intention would be now add a new measure m underscore min a underscore text columns equal to min a of returns the smallest value, doesn't ignore logical values, I mean including the logical values also, like what is the column name, marks underscore text column, and click on the enter values. Now we need to change the column values, right? Selecting this particular what do you call this one, card, sorry, yeah, drag it under next. Are you able to understand why 0 is coming? As I told you, this will be treated as a, the false will be treated as 0. Now if I change it to max, will I get the 1 or will I get 90? Please take it as a homework and let me know tomorrow. I'm repeating, min you understand is coming as 0 because among all the values doesn't ignore even false and true also, including this also, this relevant value will be 0, this relevant value will be 1. So 50, 55, 0, 1, 90, 75, among those minimum values 0. If you go for the max, you're supposed to get the 90 as output. If you go for the average x, you're supposed to get the average, should be same only, average should be same only because we have 6 numbers only. I hope, I'm sure you will get a lot of questions tomorrow only related to min a, that's for sure. But if you don't have the proper data, I'm sure you will end up with errors. Please prepare the same sample data which I'm explaining right now and practice it and go for your R&D. Don't straight away say that I copied from the Excel data, it is not working. First to practice whatever I said, then go for your exploration. Okay guys, I'm stopping. We'll see tomorrow same timing 8 o'clock.